Eph Thompson was the most celebrated elephant trainer and performer of his day, thrilling circus and vaudeville audiences across the Northern Hemisphere with his unique and patented show. His gentle treatment and expertise on elephant cognition were key to his success as he transformed the public's understanding of elephant intelligence during the 1880s. "Go in the ring, Sullivan, and wait for me," said Eph Thompson, the black elephant trainer and performer. Sullivan, the little elephant, waddled into the ring, wearing a large white ruff and a boxing glove firmly attached to the end of his trunk. The circus crowd applauded loudly in anticipation of the much-celebrated pugilistic elephant act, a 4-round play fight between man and beast that was the toast of American newspapers the summer of 1885. But much of the early life of Thompson is unknown. We'll need your help to find out more information, but for now, here's what we know. F's parents, Francis and Philip Thompson, were born in Kentucky in the early 1800s, where less than 2% of black people were free. They moved to Canada before 1852 and had 4 children: Sarah, George, Edmund, and F, originally named Moses, who was born in 1859. In 1861, the Thompsons were living in Colchester, Ontario, with Philip working as a laborer and the family noted as Baptists. Colchester was a safe destination for refugees escaping enslavement in the U.S. between 1812 and 1816, and it was a well-known stop on the Underground Railroad. It could have been that Thompson's parents, Philip and Francis, were refugees fleeing from their enslavers, or if they were free U.S. citizens, they may have been searching for better prospects or escaping the risks of kidnap and conscription under the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. In 1856, Colchester was described as a beautiful farming community on the north shore of Lake Erie and was home to 450 colored people. Here, black people could buy affordable land, work for themselves, and refugees could easily find work. F was born into an environment where black settlers were anxious, perhaps even eager, to own their own land and have their children attend school. By 1870, the Thompson family had moved to Ypsilanti, Michigan, where siblings Charles and Sarah were born. Now with 7 family members, F was keen to get away from the cramped home as soon as possible. In the early 1870s, F ran away to the circus and joined Four Paws Show in Philadelphia. Four Paws Circus was the only real rival to P.T. Barnum's Greatest Show on Earth, and the 2 popular circuses competed fiercely. F, then in his early teens, began as a chore boy, and by 1880, he was an assistant steward in the circus cookhouse. A German account reveals that in between setting up the big tops, F would spend time in the elephant house, where he fell in love with the big beasts. Just 3 years later, in 1883, F was listed as a solo elephant performer, presenting no less than 10 elephants in the third ring. Sadly, anti-black racism of the day stifled F's career in America, but he did not go unnoticed in Europe. And in 1885, he sailed to Germany to start his own show with businessman and equestrian Leo West. F enjoyed huge success in Europe with the most sought-after and celebrated elephant acts in the world. For over 20 years, his incredible show featured elephants performing in an orchestra, in a bowling team, as acrobats, nurses, firemen, soldiers, and even as Spanish dancers. His show was raved about in the press. The marvelous state of perfection to which animal training has now been brought is seen in the splendid performance which is now being given by Mr. Eph Thompson's troupe of elephants, wrote the Blackpool Times. The anthropomorphized acts thrilled audiences and began conversations in the press about elephant intelligence. At the start of F's career, elephants were only lauded for their immense size, but once F's act hit the road, the audiences were astonished at what the elephants could do. It was reported in the Mount Barker Courier that those who had not seen F's elephants are incapable of associating such cleverness with elephants, and that he has no equal as an animal trainer, and there are no elephants in the world as clever as those with which he performs. In 1905, Thompson was a Canadian-born American citizen living in Europe, where he discussed his own identity, saying, "I was born in America, and I ran away with the circus. As for me, I'm a cosmopolitan. I can only hope that I shall live to see the day where race prejudice will be quite effaced." Thompson's incredible story includes his famous wives, horse rider Dolinda de la Plata and acrobat and dancer Jessie Kelly Leopold. He survived a shipwreck, a circus fire, and financial highs and lows while he toured over 10 different countries. Still, he thrilled circus audiences across the Northern Hemisphere. His gentle treatment of the beasts and his expertise on elephant cognition were key to his success as he transformed the public's understanding of elephant intelligence during the 1880s. Despite all that recent archival and curatorial research has been able to uncover about Eph Thompson, there's still one more piece of the puzzle left. Little is known about Thompson's early life in Colchester, Ontario. Where did he go to church? To school? What were his family's circumstances? Any additional insight into the Thompson family legacy and life in Colchester would be greatly received. It would be included and attributed in the biography before publication. If you have any information to share, please use the contact form here. Bonnie Griffin is a research-based artist and curator originally from the UK whose work focuses on animal and culture intersections, legacy and death, and novel approaches to archiving. The Eph Thompson Project, which you can follow on Instagram at F_Thompson_project, is part of her volunteer work, supported and inspired by the Uncle Junior Project.